Hey there, fellow Americans. Breaking news that you need to hear right now. The May 8th payday has officially been confirmed, with $4,200 stimulus checks getting the green light for millions of SSA, SSI, SSDI, and VA beneficiaries across the nation. This is not a drill, folks. After months of negotiations and back and forth in Washington, the financial relief that so many have been desperately waiting for is finally on its way. But how exactly will this impact you and your loved ones? And what do you need to do to make sure you receive your payment? If you're concerned about your financial future and want to stay informed about every critical update that affects your benefits, hit that subscribe button and notification bell right now so you never miss out on important news that could put thousands of dollars in your pocket. Now, let's dive into exactly what this means for Social Security recipients, veterans, and disability beneficiaries across America. The official announcement came late yesterday after an emergency session where lawmakers finally reached the agreement millions have been waiting for. But why has this particular stimulus package been so contentious? And why has it taken so long for these funds to be approved when so many Americans are struggling to make ends meet? The answer lies in the complex political landscape we've been navigating since the beginning of the year, with different factions fighting over how best to distribute aid to those who need it most. For those of you who rely on Social Security benefits, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits, this news couldn't come at a more crucial time. With inflation continuing to impact everyday expenses like groceries, utilities, and healthcare costs, many beneficiaries have been forced to make impossible choices between basic necessities. Have you found yourself skipping meals or cutting back on medication because your benefits simply don't stretch far enough anymore? You're not alone. And these stimulus payments are specifically designed to address these exact challenges that millions of Americans face every single month. The $4,200 payment represents the largest direct payment to beneficiaries since the height of the pandemic, and unlike previous stimulus measures, this one is targeted specifically at those who rely on fixed incomes through federal programs. Why $4,200 specifically? This figure was calculated based on the average increased cost of living over the past 18 months. With lawmakers finally acknowledging that the standard cost of living adjustments simply haven't kept pace with real-world inflation that's affecting kitchen tables across America. Many of you have been asking about the eligibility requirements and whether there are any hoops you'll need to jump through to receive your payment. The good news is that if you're currently enrolled in SSA, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefit programs, you'll automatically qualify without having to submit any additional paperwork. Isn't it refreshing to hear that the government is actually making something easier for once? The funds will be distributed through the same channels you normally received your monthly benefits, whether that's direct deposit or your direct express card, meaning there's nothing additional you need to do to claim this money that is rightfully yours. But what about the timeline? When exactly can you expect to see this money hit your account? According to the latest information from the Treasury Department, the rollout will begin on May 8th. With most beneficiaries receiving their payments by May 15th at the latest. Can you imagine what a difference this will make for millions of households just in time for summer expenses? For many, this payment could mean catching up on overdue bills, making necessary home repairs that have been put off, or even just having the peace of mind that comes with a small financial cushion in these uncertain times. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: is this just another temporary band-aid solution that doesn't address the long-term inadequacies in our benefits systems? It's a valid concern that many advocates have raised. While this stimulus payment will provide immediate relief, the larger conversation about permanent increases to Social Security, disability, and veterans benefits continues in Washington. Wouldn't it be better if our elected officials focused on systemic reforms rather than one-time payments? The advocacy groups pushing for these changes certainly think so, but they also acknowledge that right now, this immediate relief is desperately needed by millions of Americans who simply cannot wait for longer-term policy solutions. There's also the question of how this stimulus package is being funded. Some lawmakers have raised concerns about adding to the national debt, while others argue that supporting our most vulnerable citizens, especially seniors and disabled veterans who have served our country, should be a top priority regardless of cost. Do you believe that investing in the financial security of beneficiaries is money well spent? The majority of Americans across political lines seem to think so, with recent polls showing over 78% support for targeted relief to these specific groups. For those of you wondering about taxes, yes, these stimulus payments will be tax-free. Just like previous pandemic-era stimulus checks, This is crucial information because it means the full $4,200 will be available for your needs without having to set aside a portion for next year's tax bill. Haven't we all dealt with enough financial stress without having to worry about surprise tax implications? Thankfully, lawmakers included specific language in the legislation to ensure these payments won't count against your income limits for benefit eligibility or tax purposes. I've been getting a lot of questions about whether this stimulus payment will affect other benefits like SNAP, formerly food stamps, Medicaid, or housing assistance. This is an understandable concern since many assistance programs have strict income limitations. The good news is that this payment has been specifically designated as a disaster relief payment, which means it will not count toward your resource limits for any federal benefit programs. Isn't it a relief to know you can accept this much needed financial assistance without jeopardizing other essential support you might be receiving? Some viewers have asked about potential scams related to these stimulus payments. Unfortunately, whenever there's a large government payout, scammers come out of the woodwork trying to take advantage of unsuspecting beneficiaries. Have you already received suspicious phone calls or emails claiming to be from Social Security or the IRS regarding these payments? Remember that no legitimate government agency will ever ask you for personal information via phone or email to verify your eligibility for these payments. They already have your information if you're currently receiving benefits. Please share this warning with friends and family members who might be vulnerable to such scams. The passage of this stimulus package didn't happen without significant pressure from advocacy groups representing seniors, disabled Americans, and veterans. Organizations like AARP, Disabled American Veterans, and the National Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare played crucial roles in lobbying lawmakers and mobilizing their members to contact representatives. Doesn't it show the power of collective action when citizens band together to demand support from their elected officials? This victory belongs to everyone who made phone calls, sent emails, or showed up at town halls demanding that Congress take action. Looking ahead, what does this mean for future benefit increases and support for SSA, SSI, SSDI, and VA beneficiaries? While nothing is guaranteed in politics, the widespread support for this stimulus package suggests growing recognition that current benefit levels are inadequate in today's economy. Could this be the beginning of a larger conversation about permanent benefit increases? Many policy experts believe this stimulus package has opened the door for more substantial reforms in the coming years, particularly as the voting power of seniors and veterans continues to influence election outcomes. For those of you struggling with accessing information about these payments, remember that resources are available to help. The SSA, VA, and various nonprofit organizations have established hotlines specifically to answer questions about this stimulus package. Wouldn't it be wise to reach out sooner rather than later if you have specific concerns about your situation? Being proactive about understanding your benefits can make all the difference in ensuring you receive everything you're entitled to. As we wrap up today's breaking news update, I want to remind everyone watching that staying informed about your benefits is more important than ever in these rapidly changing times. The approval of these $4,200 stimulus checks represents a significant victory for millions of Americans who depend on these critical support programs. But it's just one piece of a larger puzzle when it comes to ensuring financial security for our most vulnerable citizens. If this information was helpful to you today, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might benefit from this news, and of course, subscribe to our channel for more timely updates that directly impact your financial well-being. The May 8th payday is coming soon. Make sure you're prepared and informed about every dollar that's coming your way.